How y'all doing? It is Tuesday, people. It's Tuesday. I hope you got through your Monday all right. I am not in my shop. I am down in Corpus Christi, Texas for an interview with Eric Holguin. I said it again. Holguin.
There it is.
People, y'all got weird names. I got a weird name too. Y'all try to pronounce mine. Anyway, I'm down here to interview Eric. He's running for congressman down here in the 27th district in Texas, and I told y'all I wanted to get more involved in the community and in pushing this blue wave across the United States, baby, and that's what we want to do. So, Eric, welcome to the show.
Happy to be on here. When I saw you the other day, I was like, I'm a fan. I've been watching, so I'm excited to be here.
Well, some old guy with a beard with a loud mouth. That's what a lot of them hear. But you know, it's time that I stood up, made a sound, and stood up for what I believe in and whatnot like that. You were raised here in Corpus Christi, were you not?
I was. So I was born here in Corpus, but my dad's a football coach and a teacher, and my mom's a nurse. And so we lived in Odom, Balfurias, down in the valley, went to high school there, and then I went to A&M Corpus Christi.
Right.
And side story, I ran for a city council seat here in 2009 when I was a college student.
So that was your first taste of politics.
It was. And so it was, I think I raised maybe $1,000 because who was going to donate money to this?
Well, that's big money for college.
Yeah, I think I had to battle the bands at House of Rock.
That's cool.
to
That's
raise
cool.
That money. And so it went good. You know, I didn't get last. There was 9 of us. I think I got 7. But people were pretty impressed that he followed through. He kept showing up to the forums. He kept showing up to the debates, and I didn't know all the answers. And I still don't know all of them now. But people were excited to see someone young stepping up to grab the bull by the horns.
That's exactly. I'm excited to see so many young people stepping up. Being an old fart, I'll tell you what. It's time the younger generation stepped up, just like they did back when I was young, and because they have ideas, fresh ideas, out of the box thinking and stuff like that. So I'm happy to see the young stepping up.
Yeah, I feel like it's my duty to step up, to fight for the community, to do what I'm doing now. Running for this office doesn't feel like I had to do this, like it was something that I didn't have a choice to do. I mean, I didn't have a choice to do it because I felt naturally obligated to. I was like, all right, I gotta fight for everyone, so that's why.
That's what brought you in to decide to run this time?
Yeah, I mean, that even back then in 2009 when I ran for city council, I felt there was a huge, back then, and even still now, I felt there was a huge lack of voice from sort of the younger generation.
Right.
And in Corpus, we have A&M Corpus Christi, Del Mar, you have Kingsville down the road.
Yes, we're big college.
Yeah, and we have a big issue with brain drain.
Yes.
They get educated here, and then they
go somewhere else to find a job.
Yep.
Yeah, we need to hold them people right here. We need all the blue in Texas we can get.
We do.
So, all right. I wanted to ask you a few things that deal with what's going on right now. Just right before we came up in here, I was telling Eric that I just heard Donald Trump on TV saying that he's ready for a shutdown on the bill that's coming before the House on February 8th, I believe it is, for the budget.
Yeah.
And a lot of it has to do with DACA and the Dreamers, and so I just wanted to get your take on what you feel the DACA issue.
So the DACA issue is something, I have friends that are DACA recipients. I've had former colleagues that are DACA recipients, and they're scared. They heavily dislike that their life is in limbo and what's going to happen.
Right.
But with the last government shutdown that was under Trump, all they did was just fund the government for 1 month.
Yeah.
And so
we've been doing that for a while.
Yeah, and so they call them CRs, continuing resolutions, and what the next one's going to do is like, all right, we're going to fund it for another month, but we're not going to do DACA. So it's what Trump is doing is he's using DACA as a ploy because he knows it's a wedge issue. He knows that some Democrats are willing to budge on it, and there's some like myself that would not budge on the DACA issue.
There you go.
And so
I'm glad to hear that. I like that.
And so we're going to have deja vu again on February 8th.
Yes.
The government's going to shut down. We're going to have the countdown on CNN. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Everything.
Government
The whole
shut
dog
down.
and pony show is going to start all over again.
Yeah, and then the Republicans are going to say, "Oh, it's the Democrats' fault." And it's like, well, this is the first time. The last one, the most recent one was. It was the first time in history that one party controlled the presidency, the House, and the Senate.
Right.
That the government shut down.
Yeah.
When the government had a semi, or I guess I call it a soft shutdown, 2013 under Obama.
Right.
That wasn't a full shutdown, but this was a full shutdown.
This is full shutdown. I remember the 2013 shutdown. I remember Ted Cruz standing up on the floor of the Senate reading Green Eggs in Hand.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to try the health care. He just wanted to condemn it before he tried it.
Yeah.
So it was one of those marks in history. I am really behind Beto O'Rourke. He's running against.
He's a great guy.
Yes, he's a great guy. I'm really happy for him. All right. There's a few issues that Eric, of course, will not be involved in these issues because they're in front of the House right now. But they're issues that if they don't pass this time, they're going to be a fight up for them later on. So Eric might very well be involved in them. There's two of them here. H.R. 899 and H.R. 861. One of them is to close the Environmental Protection Agency, and the other one is to shut down the Department of Education. And both of which I feel are important pillars in our society.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's. I feel like Republicans wanting to do that live in an alternate universe.
Yes.
And they don't realize. I mean, it's not even they realize. I'm sure they realize, but they just don't care.
No.
And so my dad's a teacher, like I had said, and so education is very important to me. And if we were funding our education, put more resources into getting our youth educated, our college students educated, and even people who don't want to go to college but want to develop a skilled trade, if we start putting more funding and resources into that,
there you go.
we wouldn't have issues with getting jobs here. We wouldn't have issues with diversifying our markets, because when you have an educated public, a lot of stuff that you see going on nationally right now wouldn't be happening, and someone probably wouldn't be in office.
That's true.
For most of that.
That's one of our main primary responsibilities as citizens, is to be an informed citizen. We cannot make decisions if we don't know what the issues are about or what the candidate stands for. So being an informed citizen is one of those things that I'm really pushing. Is because, as everybody knows, the more people that vote, the more Democrats win. And that's just the basic math there. So, that's very important. So, I got one other one here that I'm concerned about this, and I know it won't pass this time, but the NRA does not give up. This bill will be back. It's House Resolution 367. This is the bill. It's the Hearing Protection Act of 2018. And you would naturally assume, well, that's a good bill, John, because that has to do with the hearing, and John's pretty deaf anyway. Ask my wife, she'll tell you. But what that bill is for silencers on long guns. I don't think anybody in this country needs a silencer. I'd prefer to hear the guy what's shooting at me than not know what direction that bullet's coming from. And so what are your thoughts on that kind of situation?
Well, I always find the names of these bills funny.
Yeah.
They sprinkle fairy dust on them.
Right.
They say the right to work bills. It sounds like, oh my god,
they
that
hide
sounds
the
great.
meaning. Oh, it's a great thing. How can you not want to work?
Yeah, but they don't finish. It's like right to work for less or school choice. I would love to go to any school choice.
That's my choice as an American.
Yeah, but people don't look at what's under the sheets.
Yeah.
And same thing with this one. The
hearing,
and it's like, oh yeah, I'm all for making sure people could hear.
Sure, that's for old folks who can't hear very well. They need help.
Yeah, but it's like you have to look at the text of the bill, and in terms of having silencers, it hasn't been an issue now. It doesn't need to be something that we need to bring up.
I think it would be very dangerous for our law enforcement and for the general public, indeed, that if you don't know where a bullet's coming from, at least you have a report to listen to.
Both my brothers are state troopers.
I saw that.
And I come from a law enforcement family. And they are very much for responsible gun legislation.
Yeah.
I believe in the Second Amendment. You're more than welcome to own your guns. I'm not trying to take your guns. But we need to have some sort of common sense. And then we had another shooting, I can't even count, most recently, which is terrible. And it's every time a shooting happens, we can't talk about it right now. It's disgusting. We're making
I don't know when we're supposed to talk about it.
And so, I feel like with the gun issue and with basically every other issue. Democrats or people who don't want to label themselves as Democrats but have sort of the same values that we have, they sort of are encouraged to be silenced. They're like, no, we can't talk about that. We can't talk about that. We live in a red state. You know, it might bother some of those Republicans. And it's like, no, this is why we have a lot of issues now, because we don't talk about it. We don't have people such as yourself and such as myself that are not ashamed to say what we believe and say it loud and make sure that people who oppose us hear what we have to say.
That's right. I want people to know, because, you know, especially looking at me, a lot of y'all have thought. That's how I trap Republicans, by the way.
They're in there.
They're in there. Oh, that guy must be a Republican. I'll go talk to him, and then I got him, baby. But I believe in the Second Amendment, and I believe in the right to own a weapon. What I don't believe is that you have the right to own any weapon you want, or the number of weapons, or the just the pure responsibility of gun ownership, having background checks, universal, shutting down the gun show loopholes, stuff like that, because guns get out into the criminal element. And it's just not a good thing. So responsible gun legislation is all that we've ever asked for.
Yeah.
You know, we're not out to take your gun away.
I mean, whenever drunk driving became an issue, what happened?
Yes.
Whenever one guy tried to bring a shoe bomb onto a plane, what happened?
Yep, we're all on that ticket.
So
I had a little pit with this morning a little bit. There was a tragic accident that a drunk driver was involved, killed a person. And it was an illegal, somebody without undocumented worker. I'm sorry. And it bothers me when somebody points that out, because it doesn't matter to me what language you ordered that beer in. The problem is drunk driving. It's not the immigration problem. If you're going to get upset about the immigrant that is in an accident like that, you need to be just as mad as a regular person out there that does it every day. There's no difference, and it shouldn't be brought into that argument.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, we see, if you take Trump's State of the Union, that people are like, how can you not stand for the family who their daughter was killed by MS-13? And, you know, it's
the
political
theatrics right now. Just today I saw on the news a report coming out very heavily about MS-13. They're really pushing it, trying to equalize MS-13 with immigrants, and that's just not the case. But the right is really trying hard to demonize anybody that's an immigrant, and we are all immigrants, baby. I'm lucky enough to know my family history and how I got here, and I always say this because I have family in Switzerland. That's where my family came from. I also have family in Chile that bear my name and that are my family. I worry that my relative from Switzerland is more welcome in my country than my relative from Chile, and that bothers me. And we should never have that situation where we determine somebody. Excuse me, I forgot to turn off my phone. Pardon me, we'll bleep that out or something. Anyway, I'm glad you took this time to meet. Want you to just be able to meet the constituents in the area, and remember that we have about 9,000 Blue Dot followers around the world. So you're getting to tell Iris over in Germany, I haven't got your package yet, but we're waiting on it, dear. We have Juliet Finney in Scotland, at the Crook of Devon in Scotland. We have fans in England. We have them all over Canada and all across the United States.
Awesome.
So this big blue wave that we're pushing is mighty important. We need that wave to wash into every crevice of our government, whether it's state, local, and or federal. And that's what this is all about. That's what I'm pushing. That's what I'm out here trying to do every day, is to get everybody involved. Find your candidate, get behind them, go to meetings, go to town halls, whatever it takes to push this blue wave.
Yeah. I mean, it takes getting progressive candidates such as myself, and I for anybody that's living in a Democratic stronghold, New York, California. Because up there, I was working for a congresswoman up in New York, working New York City Comptroller.
Right.
And after the election, I was going to so many meetings, and they were all just like, "What can we do? What can we do?" And it's like you're in a room with a bunch of liberal progressives that are just shouting at each other.
Right.
And now my message is like, help out candidates in red states or non-voting states, which is what Texas is. And so my message is what I say: share the blue love.
That's right.
Because if you live in a Democratic stronghold where you know it's very unlikely that your state or your district is ever going to turn flip seats or flip into the red, donate to candidates.
That's right.
Donate to people who, $10, $15, whatever.
If you're in a blue state, baby, and you're comfortable, help us out down here in these red states, because we're trying to turn this blue, baby.
Yeah.
And we're really trying hard to turn Texas blue. And I always remind people that, again, the way I look, there's a lot of Democrats out in the country. A lot of people think Democrats are only in the city. I want you to know, no, we're scattered all over just like anybody else. We just need to raise our voice and be involved in this process, because that's how our voice gets, that's our vote, that's how we get counted. So.
Yeah, and I'm going to plug my website real quick.
Go ahead.
EricForUs.com. It's EricForUs. But I bought Eric number for us and FOUR in case people get Korean.
There you go, in case they get lost.
However way you want to type it, EricForUs.com.
EricForUs.com.
And I'm the only candidate in this race on the Democrat or Republican side that actually has like a policy platform and solutions and way to move the district
and
forward.
They can find that on your website.
It's on the website. I'm very accessible.
There you go.
I answer the emails. It's all me.
Well, if you have any questions for him, just write to him. And more importantly, get behind him if you can. Donate if you can. Put a sign out in the yard, whether it be for Eric or any other candidate in our country, in your area. The thing is to be involved, be an informed citizen, and make a difference. And baby, that's what we want to do. And outside of that, that's it.
Cool. Yeah.
Eric, I appreciate it very much.
Yeah. No.
Good luck. And the primaries on March 6th, so get out there and vote and ride this blue wave, baby. We'll see y'all later.